Bon, maintenant qu'elle a ouvert l'antichambre de l'enfer robotique, il est temps de prendre son courage à deux mains. Les robots sont nos amis, mais apparemment pas ceux qui les programment. Heureusement, elle a chopé les armes nécessaires pour mettre à mal cet tas de ferraille.
Here they go! I've got her. Here they go! That's the last of them!
Ne cherchez pas. Ophélia a vu une poubelle au-dessus des étagères. Regarde, Pavarti, sans les mains. Un jour, cette obsession des poubelles coûtera cher à Ophélia. Mais pour l'heure, ça rapporte. Vous avez entendu un cri? Ophélia aussi, mais pas Pavarti. Mais pour le moment, elle fait fi de ne rien entendre. Elle a d'autres chats à fouetter. C'est quand même bien qu'il y ait un survivant. Bien, mais étonnant. Ah, Ophélia vient de trouver le pass de la garde. Celui qui ouvre la porte où est stocké le circuit logique, souvenez-vous. Bon, maintenant, il est peut-être temps de s'occuper de cette voix en détresse.
You're not real! You're not real! Get away from me, Phantom! Shoot! Scram!
La bonne nouvelle, c'est qu'il est toujours vivant depuis tout ce temps.
Most people? But I'm the only one left. No. Remember your first rule, Higgins. No arguing with the Phantoms. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
La mauvaise, c'est qu'il n'a pas la voix de celui qui a l'équilibre intérieur d'un moine bouddhiste.
Clearly, I mistook you for one of the phantoms of my imagination, which terrorized me on occasion. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Cysty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section. Oh, before, definitely before, Cysty Pig Tycoonery was the apex of my long and storied career. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer.
Je note ici une certaine ironie du destin. Ophélia a dû mettre en pièces une bonne partie des automécas. Mais c'était cet homme qui pouvait tous les arrêter. Il a loupé sa chance d'être un véritable héros. C'en est presque une vision grotesque du loser et du winner à l'américaine, avec un loser passif qui n'exploite pas son véritable potentiel et se contente de mal se nourrir, en attendant bien sûr d'être sauvé.
I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you. Funny thing, I was working on a logic module just before the mayhem started. Security chief found me and confiscated the logic module. The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If your mechanicals lost their bolts, open fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out.
Il était inutile de lui demander comment il s'était nourri jusqu'ici. Il avait donné déjà bien trop de détails sur ce point. Le pauvre. Il n'avait pas mérité de rester seul et terrorisé jusqu'à la folie par ses propres automécas. Mais si on aide tous ceux qui sont dans le besoin, on n'en a pas fini. Surtout lorsque des poubelles attendent d'être fouillées.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Prudence. Ah, les voilà en embuscade, les fourbes. Un coup de stress pour notre opératrice de scénario? Oui.
Everyone all right?
La voilà qui développe une petite robophobie. À force de rester dans le coin, il fallait bien que cela finisse par arriver. Tiens, un atelier. De quoi s'amuser un peu. Ophélia pense à fabriquer un flingue qui pourrait lancer des gerbes électriques. L'arme idéale pour faire souffrir des robots, pense-t-elle. Personnellement, j'ai une préférence pour le plasma. Ah, ce sera bien que Parvati elle aussi prenne conscience de la dangerosité des robots. Quoique, en réalité non. Elle le sait. Ils n'en veulent qu'à elle. Ah, je crois bien que Parvati est tétanisée par la peur.
Processing data.
Nice one! Incoming! Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you, do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Oh, well. Okay then.
Ah là là, taquiner par Marty est tellement facile. La situation de la colonie est pourrie jusqu'à la racine. Et avec le statu quo, la situation ne fait que se détériorer inexorablement. Quel que soit le côté où l'on pousse l'interrupteur, il va falloir que les gens acceptent et vivent et travaillent ensemble, quoi qu'en disent leurs exploiteurs officiels. Et Ophélia, si tout se passe bien, sera dans l'espace loin d'ici peu.
I think you did the rightest thing you could sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for, even if they didn't care much for me.
Pour Ophélia, la suite est toute tracée. Mais pour Pavarti, le choix peut être différent. Elle a une place ici, même si elle ne l'aime pas vraiment. En tout cas, je vous passe le suspense. Bien sûr, elle va rejoindre notre héroïne. D'ailleurs, je vais vous passer la suite. Ophélia s'engueule avec la vioque, lui pique son régulateur, convainc les colons de revenir travailler, pistonne un jeune novice pour le métier d'ingénieur. Ça tombe bien, puisque Pavarti va décider de rester avec elle. Et, avec tout ceci, a le remerciement de Spade Choice et toute une gamme de produits avec des prix attractifs. Et nous la reprenons en direction de son vaisseau.
Hey, Miss Parvati. Come for a visit?
Not today. Just helping this lady.
Ophélia se sent plus optimiste. Tout s'est bien goupillé au final. Elle a même embarqué des membres d'équipage avec elle pour l'aider. Une vraie capitaine. Ah, le vaisseau. Les choses sérieuses vont pouvoir enfin commencer.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling. Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? I know. Mr. Thompson said I was to chaperone you about the veil. Loan me out to you like I was Spacer's Choice property. Well, they may think I am, but I'm not. Yeah, Mr. Thompson's got a temper. But I'm more scared of missing out than I am of him. I don't want to lose my one chance at seeing the stars. Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Pavarti. Son enthousiasme fait plaisir à voir. Alors que dans l'histoire, c'est Ophélia qui fait une bonne affaire.
Well,
La question du salaire n'a même pas été
on a
posée.
ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Tout bonne hôtesse de caisse se doit de savoir réparer la clim. Pour Ophélia, changer le régulateur électrique devait être pareil. Et heureusement pour elle, même un enfant aurait su le faire. Un capitaine se doit d'avoir confiance en ses capacités.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities. A communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are, hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain, horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kelly.
Ophélia hésite. Plus ça va, plus elle s'enfonce dans la criminalité. Si les colonies d'Alcyon tournent un minimum au rond, elle est vraiment dans la panade. Heureusement, je peux vous dire que ce n'est pas le cas.
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her. Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the Hope. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the holographic shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Bien, on est dans l'accalmie avant la tempête. C'est le bon moment pour faire connaissance avec les membres d'équipage. Et l'instinct d'Ophélia lui dicte exactement cette conduite. Une chance pour tous.
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it? Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was. He meant funny as in odd. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us. Because they were hoping their own kid would get the job and get sent back to Edgewater. When folk go away for schooling, they don't get back to where they begun. Not usually. You go straight to your first job, wherever the company's got an opening. Real smart folk design the tests. They use these things called algorithms. They take into account what fulfills you. If somebody isn't happy in the job they get, it's likely on account of a poor attitude. Well, they're powerful good tests. They rattled off this whole list of names who'd worked on them, with fancy bits hanging off them. Doctors and esquires and the thirds. Even if you don't believe they actually catch what everybody's best at, everybody's got to take them, so at least it's fair-ish. Abso-surely, Captain. What's on your mind? That's in pretty good shape, considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space, but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
So you're gonna call her it, not she?
Though my voice is currently pitched to suggest female, I possess no gender. Any pronoun preferred by the user is acceptable.
Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch.
Bien. Autour du vicaire maintenant.
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Little else in this colony offers such a relaxing pastime. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening.
Ouch.
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him. That's a good question. we should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. A great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems. Thank you, Captain.
Ce n'est clairement pas le vicaire qui va mettre une ambiance de folie dans le vaisseau. Mais bon, il aura d'autres utilités. Ophélia repense au passé de Parvati. Il est quand même particulièrement sordide. Special Choice ne semble pas être du genre à prévoir un billet pour passer Noël avec ses proches. C'est dommage, car sans cela, le système aurait presque pu être acceptable. Les grands pontes semblent avoir oublié les bases avec Bourdieu, à force de ne valoriser que le marketing et la recherche de slogans accrocheurs, comme vous avez pu le constater avec les différents messages trouvés ici et là. Bon, ce n'est pas tout, mais il est tard, et Ophélia quitte ce beau monde pour se reposer dans ses luxueux quartiers. L'avantage du... Ah! Et oui, ne l'oubliez pas. Ophélia est devenue robophobique. Son expérience dans la centrale géothermique lui a laissé des traces. Bref, repos on a dit.
Shower is scheduled